Russian President Vladimir Putin wrapped up a major speech at a forum in Moscow on Thursday. The reason? A scheduled high-level phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. Putin ended the speech with a light-hearted remark. "I know we could have talked more," he said, "but it's embarrassing to keep him waiting. He might take offense."
Unfortunately, I have to end my speech now. I have a protocol event to attend. I'm scheduled to speak with U.S. President Donald Trump if nothing interferes. What would you like me to tell him? Please give the microphone to anyone who would like to speak. This is a very important point. Please don't be angry. I know that we could have talked more, but it's embarrassing to keep him, Trump, waiting. He'll take offense. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Just hours before, Donald Trump had already confirmed the call on his Truth Social account. This wasn't their first conversation in recent months. The two leaders have held several phone calls amid growing global tension. After the call, Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov briefed reporters on its key takeaways. Putin told Trump that Russia will not back down from its objectives in Ukraine. "Our president said Russia will achieve the aims it set," Ushakov said. "Russia will not give up on these aims," he added, referring to what the Kremlin calls the root causes of the conflict. At the same time, Putin expressed willingness to continue negotiations with Ukraine. The call follows 2 rounds of recent talks in Istanbul, the first formal discussions since 2022. On the Middle East, Putin had a clear message. Diplomacy is the only path forward. He told Trump that conflicts like the one in Iran must be resolved through politico-diplomatic means. Ushakov emphasized that from the Russian side, all disputed issues, disagreements, and conflictual situations must be settled peacefully. Not through force, but through dialogue.
Just ended almost an hour. Another telephone conversation between the president of Russia, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, and the president of the United States, Donald Trump. Donald Trump began by proclaiming, informing about the successful passage in the U.S. Congress. The flagship bill, Administration on Reform in the Tax, Immigration and Immigration Spheres. Trump himself calls this bill a big, beautiful bill. Vladimir Putin wished Donald Trump success in implementing the planned reforms. Of course, congratulated him on a national holiday of the United States, celebrated tomorrow, Independence Day. While on our part, it was noted that Russia played an important role in the formation of American statehood, including during the War for Independence. This is 250 years ago, and then during the years of the Civil War, which ended 160 years ago, it was stated that are connected not only by an alliance in the First and Second World Wars, but also by deeper historical sterns. By the way, Vladimir Putin mentioned that literally before the conversation with Donald Trump, he communicated with representatives of the Russian business community, was in particular during this meeting. In the Middle East as a whole, from the Russian side, the importance of settling all contentious issues, disagreements, and conflict situations, exclusively by political and diplomatic means was emphasized. It was agreed to continue contacts on this account through the foreign policy departments, defense ministries, and between the presidential aides. The latest developments in Syria, and in this area were also touched upon. The Russian American side will continue the dialogue in a similar way. Naturally, the Ukrainian problem was discussed. Donald Trump again also said that Russia will achieve the set goals. That is, the elimination of the well-known root causes that led to the current state of affairs, to the current acute confrontation. And Russia will not retreat from these goals. Was confirmed. Interest in the implementation of a number of promising economic projects, in particular in energy and space exploration. The American side understands perfectly well that the agreements will be in the nature of bilateral negotiations between representatives of Russia and Ukraine. The specific content of a possible third round was not discussed. But as I have already noted, our president said that we are ready to continue the negotiation process. That is, we are ready to hold another third round. The presidents did not say that it was time for them to meet. No, specifically about the possibility of a meeting. There was no talk, but well, you know very well that this idea is kind of hanging in the air, and if necessary, a specific agreement will be reached on this. But this time, this topic was not touched upon. Who was the first to hang up? Even I find it difficult to imagine who was the first to hang up. I know that the translators were the last to hang up. In general, the conversation, as always, between these two leaders was on one. Did President Trump inform President Putin about the decision made by the United States to suspend the supply of certain weapons systems to Ukraine? This topic has been widely discussed in the media in recent days and hours, but this topic was not touched upon during the conversation that took place.